Hello everyone, today is December 31st, 2024 and today is the last day of this year, and this is of course the last video of this year. So first of all, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart if you have watched any of the videos that I have published during the year, and of course if you have comment or subscribe to the channel, I have a debt of gratitude towards you. Secondly, if you were an investor during this year 2024, I want to congratulate you. This year was a fantastic year. The Standard & Poor's 500, which is usually the investment asset that I recommend the most, it has gone up over 24% this year, and this is just extraordinary. Imagine just making an investment and getting a 24% return without you doing anything. Well, this is what the Standard & Poor's 500 has done for us this year. And of course, when I talk about investing in the Standard & Poor's 500, I don't talk about it in the way that you should invest and expect returns, this kind of return every year. I usually suggest to invest with the mind frame that you're going to evaluate your returns 10 years from now, because who knows, maybe next year is going to be a negative year. We don't know. All we know is that on the long run it's a positive return. So yes, just keep that in mind. Also, if you didn't invest during 2024, well, this is exactly the right moment to start the new year. So just start investing 2025, but with a mindset that you're only going to evaluate your returns 10 years from now. That will be 2035. In fact, since I'm a Canadian, I am allowed to invest in my tax-free savings account at the beginning of every year, and this is super exciting for me because the tax-free savings account is an account where the government allows me to invest in any stock or any investment asset, and whatever I gain from that is completely tax-free, 100% tax-free. So imagine I invest $100,000 in the Standard & Poor's 500 within this bucket of tax-free savings account, and I sell it 1 year later with a 24% profit. That would be $24,000, 100% tax-free. So if you are on the fence about investing, yes, this is one of the best vehicles. This is perhaps one of the few free lunches that the government allows to have, so please take advantage of it. Now, with all that being said, let's jump into the subject of this talk today, which is 14 myths that keep poor people poor. Now, if you have been watching my videos for a while, you have come familiarized with the notion that the thing that keeps investors behind or stuck is not lack of knowledge and is not lack of resources. Actually is a mindset that prevents us from moving forward, and today we're tackling those mindsets, those myths that prevent us from moving forward in our investors' life. So myth number one, you need to have a high income in order to become wealthy. And this is a myth that I believe myself for a certain time. I was looking at the bloggers who had high incomes because they were engineers, they were, I don't know, programmers, they were in some kind of field that paid them a high salary, and of course they reached financial independence quite fast because they had this high salary. But that is not always the case. I like to bring out my own particular example. I came to Canada and I was only able to get minimum wage jobs because I didn't have the skills to do anything else. So that's what I did. I work as a janitor, I work stocking shelf in the supermarket, I work in a sandwich shop in the shopping center. All these little jobs that were paying me anywhere between $7 to $10 an hour. And yet, here we are 25 years later, I am retired and I live a good life. So of course it took a big chunk of time. I didn't know what I was doing and I didn't have the resources, but I learned along the way, and yes, that brings that that myth that you need to be a high-paying employee or you have to have a high income in order to become wealthy, and that is exactly not true. Myth number 2, investing is just too risky. You know what is really risky? Not investing is really risky. If you put your money in a savings account in your bank, something that is quote unquote safe, what is happening is that the return that you get from that savings account is not enough to compensate for the inflation. So in actuality, every year that you have your money in this quote-unquote safe account, you are guaranteed to save money. And the only way to escape that is to invest your money in assets that have returns higher than inflation. And for me, it has been the stock market. The stock market, it has an average return of 8 to 10%. You know, on the long run, of course, any particular year, it could be like this year, plus 24%, and next year it could be negative. But on the long run, it's a positive expected return, and that's why I mentioned so much that you have to invest with a mindset that you're going to evaluate your investments only 10 years from the moment that you invest your first dollar. But in fact, investing money in the stock market is not risky. Actually, it's the safest thing that you can do with your money. Myth number 3. Many people say that I will start investing later or savings later. Well, guess what? There is something magical in investing called compound interest, which means that, you know, whatever money you invest now, it starts building up over time. Okay, so I personally started investing when I was only earning $7 an hour, and my investments were $25 per month. Actually, that was all that I could afford at that time in my life. But even from day one that I came to Canada, that was my mindset. And to be honest, I didn't know where to invest those $25. But just because I had some skin in the game, because I was interested, I just found out, yes, of course, I made some mistakes, but sooner or later I found out how to best invest my money. And right now I'm just giving you what I found out. The most efficient way to invest your money is to buy a broad-based index, and that is practically 80 or 90% of the investment knowledge that you should have. But definitely you have to start as soon as possible, because this is what's going to happen. You start almost earning nothing, and then it starts going up very fast. But you need those few dollars that you invest early on in order for them to multiply and to grow faster and faster. Myth number 4. All debt is bad debt. That is not true. Debt can be categorized as good debt and bad debt, okay? And bad debt is just practically consumer items. You buy stuff that is just consumption. For example, let's say today is the 31st of the year. Let's say that I want to go and have a great time, and I go to a club. I buy a bottle of champagne with my credit card, and I just eat caviar and whatever is in the menu, and I spend $500 and I pay with my credit card. Boom. Okay, so this is bad debt. This debt is not going to produce anything back of value to me. Sure, I had a great time and maybe that has some value, but what I call good debt is, for example, at one time I was an Uber driver, right? I borrowed some money to buy the car, and the car was my tool to produce more money. Okay, so this in itself was a good debt. Okay, I borrow money to produce an item that will produce some more money. Another time I invested in real estate, okay, and I didn't have much capital, so I borrow money from a friend to be able to cover 20% of the value of the property, and then I borrow 80% of the value of the property from the bank, and thus are debt. I took this property and I started renting it. Actually, I was a Airbnb host for a few years. So this investment provided enough return for me to pay my friends back and to pay the bank back the debt. So this debt helped me along my journey to build some wealth. Myth number 5. I'm just not good with money. People say this all the time, and actually you don't have to be great with money. All you have to do is basically pay yourself first. Okay, what does that mean? Let's say you earn $500 per week. Okay, and that's $2,000 per month. If from this $500 per week you take $100 and you put it into your investment account, then you can do with the other $400 as you wish. You don't have to be good at, you can waste it in whatever you want as long as you pay yourself first. And then that's it. That's all you have to know. And then, of course, you put it in your savings account or investment account. And then you have to do a little bit of homework to see how you are going to best invest that money. But the big job is already done. You don't have to be that great. You just have to live beyond the means. And the shortcut that I found to live below my means was to pay myself first. Myth number 6. I hear this all the time. Rich people are greedy, they are unethical, whatever. This is a mental limitation that you are putting upon yourself that will prevent you from building wealth. I have seen a lot of people say, I don't want to become wealthy because it's going to change me and it's going to make me greedy and nasty or whatever. That is not true. I mean, I know some rich people and they are kind, generous, and they don't even show off their wealth. So, this is, and if you look around, of course, the media is going to always talk about this rich person that is greedy, but most of the time rich people are just generous. They just care about the welfare of their family and about having a richer life. But most rich people, they cannot even spend the money that they have, so they are into philanthropy, into helping others, helping the local school, helping the local hockey team or football or basketball or education. So many of the monuments in the United States and Canada, not many universities and hospitals, they have grown out of the donation of rich people. So not rich people are in fact generous, they're kind, they are helpful, and guess what? Rich people pay the overwhelming majority of the taxes in any country. So rich people are the ones who are keeping this economy going. Myth number 7. I just need to win the lottery in order to become wealthy. You know what? That is exactly not true. First of all, your chances of winning the lotteries are very slim. I forgot what the probabilities are, but definitely you should not count on that as your way to break from poverty. The way to break from poverty is to have a discipline, to invest consistently, to be patient, to live below your means, and within 10 years or so, you're gonna be able to see some actual returns on your investment accounts. You're going to be seeing your money actually working for you, and between 10 to 15 years your money will start earning more money than you do in your regular job. So, but all this requires discipline. This is not a matter of luck. This is how people have built wealth for hundreds of years already, and if it works for hundreds of years already, it can work for you starting today. Myth number 8. It's just too late for me to start investing now. Well, you know what? I am 57 years old. Within a couple of years, I will be in my 60s. And guess what? I'm still investing, although I just, right now I could start investing and I could start withdrawing money, and I will probably never spend the money that I have until age 100, which is the age where hopefully I will live to. But I continue investing because I can see the returns, and why not? So if you are, 50, 60, 70s, even in the United States, the government allows you to invest extra money in your retirement accounts if you are older and if you haven't keep up with your savings. So it's never too late to invest. And if you don't get to spend the money that you are saving right now, well, think of your legacy, of your children, your family, so on and so forth. So no, it's never too late to start investing. Myth number 9. Oh, I just don't earn enough to start investing. And you know what? That may be true. If you go out to restaurants every week, if having a new car is important to you, if having the latest Apple gadget is important to you, if having the latest design clothes is important to you, you may not have enough to start investing. So you just have to change your mindset and say, okay, do I really need a car? Okay, and some people psychologically they need a car, others they really need a car. I don't have a car, and I am not interested in having a car. I don't wear designy clothes. I think this is a Walmart shirt, okay? Probably cost me less than $20, but it just served me well. This shirt, I had it for, I don't know, at least 5 years. So people say, oh, if you buy stuff that is cheap from Walmart, it's just going to get destroyed. No, that's not true. This shirt is at least 5 years old. I bought it for $20 in Walmart. So you don't have to spend money in the latest designer's fashion or the latest electronic gadget or so on and so forth. Just make sure that you just pay yourself first. And yes, everyone can do it if they want to. And that's why I said that investing is mostly psychologically, and these are the myths that keep poor people poor, just not being able to break through these psychological barriers. Myth number 10. You need to work endlessly. You need to work hard in order to get rich. You know what? That may be true for a little while. I know that when I started working, I worked really hard. I had many jobs. At one time I was a dance teacher, an Uber driver, an Airbnb host, and I have all these things going. So I was working very hard to accumulate some wealth so that my wealth could work for me. So yes, but that's not to say that a person with a regular job, let's say a high school teacher or college teacher or even a waiter, whatever, they can just work the regular hours and still put some money aside for the money to work with them. It just depends on your urgency, on how fast you want to accumulate some wealth so that your wealth can start working for you. But no, it's not true. Once you get past this, let's say, once you do 5 years of really hard work, then your money gets some momentum going and it will start working for you. So yes, it may be true, you have to work hard for a little while and then you can relax. Right now, I relax. Right now, I work about 1 or 2 hours per day and that's it. So yeah, you can organize your life according to this way of thinking, and yes, you eventually will be cruising. Myth number 11. Money is the root of all evil. This is not true. Many people who are wealthy, they are generous, they do good with their money. So this is not true. And if we are going to go by the quote from the Bible, the actual quote is, the love of money, not money itself, but the love of money is the root of all evil. But money is just a tool, something that you use to achieve your goals. Like when I was an Uber driver, my car was my tool. Money is just a tool that allows you to pay for the house where you're going to live and make your investments, so on and so forth. But money is just a tool. It's not the root of evil. Myth number 12. Investing is only for the wealthy. Well, the wealthy can benefit the most from investing, but once again, I started investing when I was that poor, and it's only through investing that I can get out of my poverty to actually become wealthy. So no, it's just investing is particularly important if you are poor. If you are wealthy, well, that is the most logical thing to do. But if you are poor, you actually need to start investing as soon as possible. Myth number 13. Having money will not make you happier. I cannot disagree with that. Having money will not make you happier, because happiness comes from a sense of meaning and belonging. So I am the most happy when I'm with my friends, family, just sharing a meal, having a drink, or just walking with my friends, because I do that from time to time. That makes me happy. Belonging, knowing that someone cares for me and caring for somebody else. But guess what? Money can prevent a lot of unhappiness. If I don't have money to pay my rent, that's going to make me unhappy, right? And then I have money, I pay my rent, and now that prevented that unhappiness. If I get sick and I don't have money to see a doctor, a healthcare technician, whatever, then that's going to make me unhappy. But if I have money and I pay that doctor and I buy those medicine, that prevents that unhappiness. So yes, I agree with you. Money will not make you happy, but not having money will make you unhappy. And myth number 14, I have bad luck with money. Well, that also may be true. If you use money to invest in crazy investments like cryptocurrency, they may go up very fast and just drop the next day, and maybe you bought it at the wrong time, when right before it was dropping. So yes, you had bad luck with money. But if you use sound principles of investing, or just follow this dumb advice that I continue giving, buy the broad-based index funds with a time frame of 10 years, you cannot go back in history and see any time period of 10 years where it has been negative. So it has worked every time, it's going to continue working. So it's almost like a mathematical formula, but the thing is not to use it for gambling on stuff that you don't know how it works. Don't buy cryptocurrency. That is one of my pet peeves. People say, oh, cryptocurrency, you can become rich. No, you're gonna get screwed. So yes, buy an investment that makes sense and just hold it for 10 years, and luck will have nothing to do with it. Even in the time of the Great Depression, within 10 years people made their money back. So it has been working for hundreds of years, and it's going to continue working. It has nothing to do with luck. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and please go ahead, open that investment account today, start investing, and I wish you the most success for 2025. And if you have made it so far in this video, please subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, or if you are subscribed, just leave a comment. I enjoy reading comments from all the listeners or the viewers. And other than that, have a beautiful New Year's. Peace.